All right, folks, we are live on this Tuesday morning. It is a very wintry and not exactly the most expected weather here on the Gulf Coast, but here we are. We've got snow coming down. You can see this is the reflectivity image on radar, and keep in mind that that is not rain moving along the Gulf Coast. That is snow and in some cases sleet. So we are going to get into that today on the stream. Before I begin, please like the stream, subscribe. Make sure you get that subscribe count. We need to get that subscribe count up. As well as share the stream if you want to. Share it on various social media platforms. You can also follow my Facebook page, James's Weather Forecasts, and later on I'll link the page in the description of this video. I also created a Twitter account, or excuse me, an X account for this. I'll also link it later on today. But here we are. So we've got snow coming down. It's accumulating. We did have a little bit of sleet come down earlier, but it is pretty much transitioned all the way to snow, at least here locally in Mobile, where we are located. Various other areas maybe getting a mixture of things, perhaps some sleet mixed in. But I want to take a moment. I'm going to click off the radar, and this is the latest sounding out of Slidell this morning, and you can see. So here you've got. Let's see if I can get the clicker. So here you've got your 0 degree Celsius line that runs, sort of runs diagonally along there, and you can see for the most part our this black zigzag line. That's our temperature line, and you can see we are below freezing as we go up in the atmosphere, meaning that we can expect that for the most part we're dealing with snow. That checks out. We did have a little bit of sleet mixed in, and perhaps some places locally. This little nose right here gets just above freezing enough where these snowflakes, are falling from these higher levels in the atmosphere, melt a little bit, and then refreeze into ice when they get closer to the surface. But nonetheless, I wanted to just go live today briefly, and I'm thinking about perhaps sort of revamping the channel a little bit to cover more weather events than just tropical cyclones. I want to cover other weather events as well, and I'm also considering perhaps making this sort of a weekly thing to stream on Tuesdays, probably for the most part later in the day, like in the evening time. Today we just happen to have a lot going on, but I was thinking about maybe doing this sort of weekly, just going through the various weather events that are going on in the country. But here I want to go ahead and I want to take a look at the GFS model, courtesy of Tropical Tidbits, as it is starting to come in for the 12Z run today. And let's see if I can play this here. So here we're starting off. You can see we've got lots of snow there in blue. We've got it's changing over to rain once you get down the Gulf of Mexico, which here in the near future we may be referring to that as the Gulf of America, but we shall see. And then obviously you see some purples in there, indicating we've got some ice coming down. Nonetheless, very, very treacherous travel today, and you can see that. Go to Google Maps and just pull up the traffic map, and you just see yellows everywhere, indicating traffic just is not good. So it's best just to avoid the roads if you can today. The good news is, I mean, it is mostly snow as opposed to sleet, which is certainly easier to drive on. But nonetheless, Still best if you can just avoid it altogether. And just some brief tips. If you do go out in it, or if you have to go out in it, just remember, just take it slow. Go extremely slow around the curves in the road. Anytime you come to a stop and then accelerate, make sure you do so slowly. Do not press hard on the gas pedal, because you will spin, and I can tell you that just from personal experience up in when I lived up in St. Louis. So just be very, very careful if you do go out today. But hopefully everyone is prepared and has a couple days worth of food on hand, and can just kind of stay home today. But I'm going to run this through here. You can just see over the next few hours, the snow begins to make its way down the Florida Panhandle and into places like South Georgia and even into the Carolinas. And that continues. It's mostly out of our area, at least here, places like Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. It's mostly out of here by tomorrow morning. Still continues in places like Tallahassee and even along the southeast Atlantic coastline. And then by the time we get to tomorrow night, everything is pretty much moved off the eastern seaboard. So that's what we got going on. This is going to keep making its way across the coastline. And something I think is worth mentioning, it's just so just adds to the unprecedented nature of this. We literally have, let's see if we can get it to pull up here. Here we go. We have blizzard warnings in southwest Louisiana and extreme southeast Texas. Okay, we have blizzard warnings. Give it just a second to load, but we have blizzard warnings in effect along parts of the Gulf Coast right now, and you can see why. We've got winds gusting out over the northern Gulf of Mexico over 50 miles an hour. And that's certainly a concern. Now it just adds to the the dangers of going out and traveling in this if you have to. Again, if you don't have to, I advise not traveling in this. But not only do you have accumulating snow on the roadways, as well as some minimal sleet accumulation, but you also have to deal with now not just accumulating snow, but blowing snow, and sideways blowing snow in some cases, especially if you're out in the open area. Obviously, this one's a little bit slower on the on land due to friction, but if you're in an open area, just driving along the highway, and those winds could be very, very gusty. Nonetheless, even at some of these speeds that are being observed, you got gusts to 25 knots, close to you're talking about around 30 miles an hour. That's enough to send the snow flying through the air. You don't necessarily need to hit that 35 mile per hour threshold technicality to have blowing snow and very, very hazardous conditions. But I think for the most part, I just wanted to briefly show that, and I don't know why it's. I am not sure why it is not popping up. Here we go. There we go. We got it back. Maybe. Perhaps. While we're getting this in going again, I just want to mention. I just want to mention that we probably are dealing with somewhere between 1 and 3 inches of snow accumulation most places along the Gulf Coast. I have seen reports that perhaps 2 to 4, or even as high as 5 locally. I'm not really sure I buy that. I think you do see a couple inches come down. As I said, with in most spots, and you do have some sleet under that in some places, but I think for the most part, this isn't going to be any kind of major accumulation. It's just that as it's coming down, it's going to cause a lot of hazards, especially in the fact that it could be blowing around in those strong northerly winds. Which is why, again, if you can avoid traveling today, I by all means advise that. All right, so let's see. Let's see if we get the warnings back up again. All right, here we go. So as you can see, we've got various warnings that have popped up in all those little polygons issued by the National Weather Service local offices throughout the southeastern United States. Most of these, of course, you've got your blizzard warnings there in the red down there in southwest Louisiana and southeastern Texas. You got this wide swath of winter storm warnings that stretch all the way from the Texas coastline all the way over here through South Georgia, and this even continues. This even continues up through the Carolinas, which is just crazy. But it's, as you can see, it's all the whoops. Sorry about that. You've got all this precipitous moving along, so it's going to continue, and it's going to move into all these areas as we go forward in time. But yeah, just I think that's pretty much going to do it for this stream. Again, like it down below, subscribe to the channel, share the stream, and let me know what you think in the comments section. Do you like the idea of perhaps doing a weekly stream where we just go through, do some basic analysis of the week ahead on Tuesday afternoons, Tuesday evenings? Just let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and also comment how much snow do you think how much snow do you think we're going to get? And if you happen to go out, if you live in any of these areas and you happen to get any observations of snow accumulation, perhaps pull out the ruler or the yardstick, and let me know what you find. But I think we're looking at about 1 to 3 inches for most of the Gulf Coast. Thank you for tuning in, and stay safe, everyone.